We back. Realize I can't play Battle Cry anymore because I keep getting fucking copyright striked for whatever reason. So, I think I gotta. I don't know a lot of games. Yeah, I'm. Why is it asking me to install stuff? There we go. I don't know why this keeps happening, but whatever. There's probably a way I could fix that. Whatever's. Wayne. I haven't played DayZ in a minute. Every time I play though, I fucking regret it. I haven't played this in a minute. This used to be one of my favorite games. I would play it pretty much all the time. First game I played on Linux, I think, without any like super fucking issues. I can't play Battle Cry anymore. I keep getting copyright striked by the whatever the fucking it's just walking simulator. That's the only problem. The thing that sucks is I had Hitman at one point, and let's do Workers and Resources. I love this game. It's one of my favorite games. I just work, play the game, make sure my people are fed. Because that's the important part is I think I gotta do the thing. Yep. Properties, compatibility. Let's try this. I generally have super good experience with the never mind. I generally have good experience with oh, there we go. I do. Playing safe. I generally have good experience with either 9 or experimental. Man, I really wish I could do fucking Hitman though. I bought Hitman, and I think through EA, and that shit did not work. Which kind of sucked big balls because I love Hitman. and that sucked major big balls because I loved Hitman. I bought it through the like their like proprietary store, not through Steam. Biggest fucking L ever. Biggest fucking L, because I lost the. I don't know what happened, but I lost the game. Like, I don't know where to find it. I don't know how to find my purchase. So it's pretty much fucked. I'm just gonna wait for it to go on sale. I think it got the reason I had to is you couldn't buy through Steam. I couldn't buy it through Steam. I think when it got released, it was like through only like the EA store or whoever the fuck makes it. I don't know. And let's see if I can. All right, we're gonna go easy because I'm a bitch. Easy, realistic mode. Reasonable. That's fine. Energy management, buildings only. I do like energy management because it's based. Water management. I do like water management. Waste management. Not so much. Building fires. Normal. Global events. Normal. Pollution. Enabled. Education. Simple. Yeah. Crime and justice. Enable. Traffic simulation. Simple research. Enable. Day and night cycle. Moving sun. Year start. Let's do the 60s. Vehicle availability. Locked according to year. Let's go. So the last time I played this game, I did not do so good. I don't remember the music though. I remember the map giving me all the answers. Oh yeah, I forgot this is the research required. So you gotta kind of figure out where to go. I got some monies though, some capital. And I can get some loans. I'll have to do another Frostpunk. I like Frostpunk too. I just like playing that in my personal time though. I don't like thinking about it. It's just a nice game. So industry fossil fuels. God, it's been a minute. Is it? I generally go coal. Let's see what's source. And I try to stay very close to the city so I don't have to expend resources. I don't have to expend resources getting them to and from. That is a huge fucking oopsie daisy. I should have done No Town. 20, 30, there we go. 40? You gotta play around? Yeah, let's do the road this way, so beautiful. I like coal because it's just easier. It's easier to fuck with. It's easier to do. Just gotta build a road. Some people may say like, I don't like coal, I like oil. You know, that's fine. It's your choice. Get some workers. Oil is really fucking insane to also do. Fuck with. Need a bus stop to make sure these motherfuckers go. electricity. Ah, it's been a minute. It's been a minute. So coal processing plant. I forgot about that. Gotta fucking gotta do that. Need people to do that. It's good to have it near.
Damn, it's draining my funds.
About to employ this town. And now I need power.
This is where this sucks.
As long as I can get power to everything first, I'm good. I'm always... Eventually... I need to rent power from the government. I wanted to make this my... Maybe I shouldn't have started with so many towns. I have a lot of people to take care of. A whole country. I have to take care of a whole fucking country. Which... that kind of sucks, brother. I lost where... I lost my my spot. Actually, I should maybe click something close to the border. Oh. Oh.
Did it!
Found the resource, found the city.
Fuck yeah. Found the resource, found the city.
Okay.
I found the resource, found the city. Big
Moment for
Linux Gaming. Excellent. 2 concurrent viewers.
hello, chat. Hello, people.
I don't know if people can actually hear me. No cap. Never mind.
One concurrent viewer. I don't know fucking what's real anymore. It could be bots. All right. So. What if I get
This working.
crossing the? No. Can I exit? Can I affirmate? Can I destroy that? I can destroy it. How do I yeet this? What was the way to do it? There was a way to destroy things, especially roads, and I can't remember which one it is. Cancel road, there we go. Canceled. We good. Maybe I should do walking speed, max speed. This is more expensive. Perfect. Destroy the trees. And I will get rid of that.
Goodbye, concurrent viewer.
No, what the fuck happened?
That's crazy.
Alright. Custom game it is. Asian map, empty. The map is probably. Oh man, I gotta have to buy some stuff.
Alright.
Never mind. We going this way.
Alright.
This energy management, building solely, water management, waste management, and maintenance enabled. You know what? Fuck it. We're going
Winter mode. We're gonna go winter.
and crime and justice, traffic simulation, research. I don't know why the fuck that happened. 1960. Let's go. I forget how to. I think it's random map. I gotta pick that doesn't have people in it. Very based. Very awesome. Okay. This is the city. I need a town. Okay. Okay. Imports. Town. Electricity. Awesome. I don't know why it's not letting me click on that. Need town map very small. Rain. go, bro. What do I build? Oh, that's why. Oh, that makes sense. They gave me nothing. Okay. Hey, oh, there we go. Yo, 81%. That's about as good as it's gonna get. And then I build a city for my people. For citizens. The citizens must live near where they work. Otherwise, what's the point of living? Oh God, I need to change something. This ain't working. Let's try 7. It'd be crashing. This sucks. It be crashing. Yo. Apparently I lied. It crashed. Big F in the chat for that one. Okay. Let me. Oh, it's downloading. Manage, properties, compatibility. Let's do 8.5. Sometimes you gotta fuck around with it for it to work. This is the beauty of a beauty. I2P, so if you're doing it over a CGNet, which is what your phone works off of, I figured this out a long time ago, actually, because I used I2P for a period of time for email. You have to connect it to Wi-Fi. That's why. It firewalls you, and it just doesn't fucking work under cell service. I don't know why. It's kind of retarded. I actually got super annoyed, and I spent, I think, like a couple of weeks trying to figure it out, and then one day I connected to like Wi-Fi while I was doing it, and it worked. So I was like, oh, that makes sense. Yeah, so try connecting it to Wi-Fi and see if that fixes your problem. Because it fixed my problem. Because I would use I2P to send email. Well, fuck, I spent a couple of hours trying to figure out I can never get it fucking working. Yeah. Yeah. All you have to do is connect it to Wi-Fi. And, I mean, I2P does really good at, like, encrypting your traffic anyways. Because everyone's a router. So, it's not as bad. It is a bit confusing for it to work. And then God, what's the web browser I used? That was really easy. Give me a second. Don't use like a regular mobile browser. There's another browser you can use that like you can use the built-in I2P browser in the built-in native app. It kind of sucks. So it kind of sucks because there used to be something called i2 Bonet or something. Bonet, and it was like a native like email client for I2P. And you gotta like go read the doc. I mean, essentially the documentation says like there is no actual servers or anything. You essentially use like because as much as people shit on Proton and like other like email providers is the idea of I had an idea of this program that uses a VPN and you can use that VPN to connect to multiple VPNs. It kind of already exists. Portmaster does this. They have a beta app that I tested. It sucks right now. I don't think there's a lot of development for it yet, where it does different VPN connections for each application. You can use it on desktop. It's a cool product. I think that it needs more testing. Oh God, what is the name of that fucking browser? I think it's called Privacy Browser or something. It's something really cringe sounding. Because I used it for quite a bit. When I wanted to go on a Privacy Browser, it has a native proxy that helps you set up for your local IP2 instance. I used Canine Mail in order to send my emails through I2P, which is kind of cool. I only used it for like one person, which is irrelevant. But aim to connect to multiple VPNs so you can have multiple. And I mean, like VPNs are kind of they're like oversimplified. Like people treat them like as a magic bullet. Like you are just transferring your trust to like the VPN provider. I use mine for like a completely different reason. Vadium isn't the greatest at blocking ads, and to be honest, most VPN providers provide like decent like ad blocking. I just don't like fucking ads, personally. And Brave is, it's like getting. Oh my God, yeah, fucking Google killed. Yeah, I'm getting like a stupid amount of fucking ads in the YouTube app, which kind of sucks. Oh, you have your phone have multiple VPNs so you can connect to multiple firewalls connected to your phone. Oh, yeah. There was something called Dauntless though. Dauntless is like a way to fight it. It's like a it's like a built-in firewall, and I mean, once you get to Graphene OS, you have like a firewall already at the lowest level. It's included in the ASOCP. It should be included in every single application. You should be able to do what you do. You should be able to block network access on every application level if you want. That's my personal take. This is why I think what Apple should do, if Apple like wanted to be really a good competitor in terms of like Graphene OS, they should have contact scope, storage scope, and that's my take. They should give you more control to your app ecosystem. But it's going to be a long time before we even get there. in my opinion. But that'd be cool. Like, I think the first step that people should make is definitely better secure hardware. So I've been reading like Google's Android, like how Android works and like the security of it, and just like vendor hardware. You should make a video talk about how to get Magic Mouse working on a phone. Magic Mouse. What's that? I'm not aware. What is that? Magic Mouse working on a phone. What's Magic Mouse? If you could explain to me what it is, yeah, I could probably do it. Android 15 is supposed to launch very soon in the next, I think, couple days. So I'm gonna be working on a video for that, like Mike's, kind of like my testing of it. It's gonna be a bitch because I don't know. Android 15 already exists, but from what I understand is you can't build it. Like, they have it released, the devs have it released or something, and I just got a patch update. Magic Mask. Oh, what's Magic Mask? Yeah, I still don't know what that is. You would have to explain it to me. All right, here's some. Let's go. Flats. I like flats, man. All right, cool. Got my roads, and I just kind of need my buildings. What the fuck? Magisk. Yeah, I'm still unaware. What is that? It's like clicking in my brain, but Magisk. Let me just do an internet search. Oh, it's like a root. Oh, yeah, they do the root stuff. Yeah, the problem with rooting your phone is you reduce the security threat and the threshold a lot, because now you're giving a massive amount of privilege escalation. This is the problem with Linux, in a sense. Once you understand like how the system works, that having root is not necessarily... Damn, I gotta start this over. Something's weird. It's saying I need a construction office. Rooting your phone sounds like a really cool idea until you realize that it doesn't... it's not a good thing and it sounds cool and it seems cool, but then you realize it reduces your security on like a high level. I'm really more about a secure phone operating ecosystem, and that can generally lead to better privacy, because if you have a lot of these systems that end up fundamentally having a place where they phone home or where it's going to leak sensitive information, you're kind of like doing a, well, see, that's the problem I should do. I should root my phone before I put a custom. I would do none of that personally. First off, you got to tell me what phone you have. If you can tell me what phone you have, then I can tell you. I can tell you then first. Your best option is to just keep your stock OS on there. Your stock OS is going to be updated from the vendor. You have to trust the person that's maintaining the custom ROM to continuously do the updates, the patches, and everything down to making sure that it's getting a timely scheduled. This is a flaw in the custom ROM ecospace. If Graphene OS disappears tomorrow, then I'm fucked and I have to go back to the stock Android. Motorola G5 2004. Oh, I believe you can put Divest on it. Divest OS. I'm not saying Motorola is good. And I honestly say, get whatever phone is within your budget and works for you. Absolutely. But the thing is, you always want to relock the bootloader because it's an essential it's an essential part of the security of the overall security of the system. If you have poor security implications inside your mobile operating system, then no matter what the fuck you put on your phone is almost kind of like worthless at that point. Because if you do that, and then custom bootloader you gotta trust. There's a lot of trust you have to give along the way to the vendor, the maker, and etc. I'm not like a super big expert, but I think Divest OS is available for maybe Motorola. The issue is Motorola. If you relock the bootloader and it doesn't read a certain file system that it's supposed to read, it can break your device. Breaking is somewhat rare now. Samsung, Amazon, Samsung. HTC, that's crazy. HTC One. That's awesome. I'm just on their site. Just go to Divest OS Mobile and see if your device is supported. I mean, the guy does support a lot of devices. Alone as like a lone developer. So you have to kind of take it with a grain of salt and understand that he's just one person. Your best option is to buy a Pixel A series. It's really the cheapest. So there's Moto G. Okay, so there is some Moto G3, Moto G4. You had a G5. Moto X Pure. LG W.OS. And sometimes they just won't do a device because they're like, hey, we used to do this with this vendor, and now we don't. LG. I just think that it's important.
I break my one place by accident by using the. Yeah, I haven't rooted a phone in a long time. I've had no need to. It's so they have Moto options, so you could probably find like one for your Moto G. But you have to understand that you got to make sure that you follow the directions to the T and that you read all the instructions. It's relatively not that hard to actually do any of this. Sorry, I have a Moto 2024. It's fine. I just think that it's important to understand that if you do this, Dive OS is going to be the only other option that has a plethora of phones that they somewhat kind of support. No. Fuck it. We doing seasons. The issue with rooting your phone is people say do it and then they do it and then they don't realize like, wow, that was really not a good idea. I was like, and I think it's because people have a fundamental misunderstanding how it works. No, I understand. I just the custom ROMs and rooting and stuff, that's very nice now compared to back. Yeah, it's nice, but I don't know. I think Graphene OS isn't a ROM technically. They even explained why it's not considered a custom ROM. And they are nice, but I have dyslexia, so I have trouble following directions when. Yeah, no one's doing the custom ROM anymore. I think is because it's kind of, you have to really trust the person that's maintaining the custom ROM. If I had access to a Moto G, like the phone that you have, a Motorola 2024 5G, I would personally do a video on it, but I don't. And I guess the issue with custom ROMs today is that they're becoming increasingly abandoned and outdated because you are trusting someone to do this work and maintain it essentially for free. I mean, Graphene OS alone is, I think they became a non-profit fully, like entirely, which that makes a huge difference. They have different legal protections. That's like a huge. Oh, here we go. Oh no. No. So, like, I get the sentiment of people wanting this. I just don't think it's a thing as much anymore, is because people lose interest. I mean, you know how hard it was for me to get people to use fucking Signal? That's crazy to me. Alright, we're gonna do oil. Hopefully. I think we're in the era of like where custom ROMs just people don't care about, and it sucks because like I think there was very cool like custom ROMs that came out and very cool things in society that people have made because they're like, hey, I don't like this, so I'm gonna go build it myself kind of mentality, which we are losing that we are losing that drive to do that. People just, I can't even get people on fucking Signal, man. Like I said, and Signal's super simple, and people want to use standard SMS, and SMS is fucking garbage. And I agree that like I prefer to watch a video on something. I like reading sometimes, like, but mainly I do like watching videos, so I could rewatch it, maybe have a better understanding of it. Oh, there we go. Oh, 50. Oh, this is gonna be such a bitch. In my opinion, Google is trying to stop sideloading. Nope, that's a misrepresentation. Google is not stopping sideloading. They're giving the developers have an option. This is like a misleading thing that's going around. I'm not a Google stan or anything, but they are essentially allowing the developers to make the conscious decision to go out and prevent the side loading, so that they do this so that people can't download malicious apps. But it's an option that you can toggle off and you can still side load. There's going to be zero way to prevent this. Android is open source, and the only thing that can happen is if Google decides to close source Android, which would be a retarded move, because they, as much as they don't like to admit it, they heavily rely on the open source ecosystem, like heavily, like very heavy. So like the sentiment that it's going to prevent side loading is not true. They're not going to prevent it. They're making it more difficult. They're making it more difficult to the fact. What is going on? All right, I'm going to exit this. I don't think custom ROMs are going to explode because of that. I can even... There's a discussion about it too. So what happened is most of the people are doing side loading are not normal. Yes, that part is true. But the thing is, a lot of people get misdirected from malicious apps, and they get redirected and they download it, and then it ends up causing a security issue. In the order of where you should like the average person doesn't know how to verify the application they're downloading is true, and there's nothing malicious going on. There's no really good quote unquote malware, Android malware, antivirus software, quote unquote, that really exists. Look at what happened with this is literally something that I just talked about that I'm going to bring up on my screen. Damn it. It's kind of a stupid article, but man. Oh, this is gonna annoy me. Where is it? Essentially, there was a Android malware. Sorry, my thing be crashing, bro. There was an Android malware that was being released through the standard. I can't see my chat right now. And that software was being distributed through the Play Store, like itself. Like, it was being distributed through the Play Store, and people were downloading it, and that sounds like that's not... that people act like that's, like, not a crazy thing. Like, that's, like, such a... Like, oh, man, that sounds like you're dumb or something. That's the issue, is people don't verify what they're doing. And this is through a popular camera app that this happened. Most people don't even know what an APK is, and Google's against... I mean, I'm going to disagree with that. They're not against FOSS software. They literally heavily rely on open source. I mean, and the ASOCP is open source. I'm not saying Google isn't a fucking demon for their own reasons, but they rely on the open source community. A lot of companies do. So does Microsoft. This is the crazy part. Microsoft, as much as a hater I am, they heavily rely on the open source community to help them with projects. I mean, tons of people do. So does Red Hat. Red Hat closed-sourced some of their proprietary software and made some of their software proprietary. They got bought out by IBM, which is, in my opinion, a dog shit kind of move. But this is a byproduct of free and open source software. People hear the word free and they think free isn't money, but it's free isn't freedom. So a lot of these projects don't get funded. And because they don't get funded, like funding, but here's this right here, finally. Yeah, there was this Android malware. It's more like adware. And right here. No. That's not it. The internet will find it for me. And saying most people don't sideload apps, this is gonna slowly show you that's not right. I mean, I don't know who the fuck Readwire is, but I went and looked and verified this into myself. They essentially, Kaspersky right here discovered that the malware is alerted to developers. Wuta Camera fixed it with this patch. This other, oh god, I hate ads. What the fuck? Should be putting. Oh, here we go. This malware affected tons of stuff. They found Minecraft, Stumble Guys, car parking. And these were modified apps. This is the thing. This is what happened with GIMP. GIMP was put at the forefront for ads. So people thought, hey, this is GIMP. So they're downloading what they think is GIMP, and it's not GIMP. It's actually fucking, it's essentially a virus, quote unquote. I don't like to use that word because it essentially, it becomes super hyperbolic. But just because people don't know what an APK is doesn't mean that people don't do this and don't download malicious software. They absolutely do. This is a fundamental issue with having free access to everything and not having mitigations that protect people, the common user, into making sure that they're downloading verified software. This was the problem with the Aurora Store. This was the problem with F-Droid for a long time. I think F-Droid has made some fixes. I have been a Linux user for a very long time. I know how to look at a software,
download the APK signature, the signature, match the file hashing directly from the developer to make sure. You can get the software to make sure that everything that this is the software, this is their signing key, etc. You're talking about how malicious software is being distributed through ads. Yeah, Google is responsible for that because they're taking the money. But the issue is if they would have the issue is they literally picked the application Wuta Camera. They fixed it. And I'm not saying the Play Store is perfect, but the Play Store, going through the Play Store versus someone downloading an APK like Mac's browser that has no fix for it is completely different. And I understand that Google is in the ad business. I understand they're in the ad business. They want to make money. They're getting ads. But sideloading, and I'm not saying sideloading is evil or anything. Sideloading, which is a option that you can turn off. Like you can this whole narrative that they're going to, and the F-joy that was caused by after I signed their own APK files and not using a signature they get repository. Yeah. Well, they're also F-Droid is they're behind. I don't know if they're still behind, but F-Droid used to be behind updates because they have a review process, I believe, and I think that was part of it. That's the issue. Is I just go to GitHub. I go to GitHub. Boom. Get APK. Done. Directly from the source. I use Obtainium Play Store with the unregistered, unused, know-nothing Google Play service for certain apps that I just want the updates. And then I do Obtainium. Obtainium is great, but a lot of these don't have automatic updates. If they don't have automatic updates and people sideload and then they get these apps that aren't updating and they have security vulnerabilities or patches, and that's the problem. Yeah, that was the problem. They were reviewing in the software and make it sure it's not malicious. That's why there's a different signature. Also, I just think that it's there's other reasons why it was most likely slow. I don't know if that's the direct reason, but that is a problem though when you have software that relies on fast patching. This is why Graphene OS gets fast patching. Like it gets its monthly security updates and its patches from the ASOCP. Google will never go away from open source, at least in my opinion, because how much they rely on it. They rely on it like way too much. Like way too much. Like the ad thing kind of sucks, and like a lot of decisions that Google is making, I'm not a fan of. I'm very critical of like what they're doing. But to say that that the sideloading thing is just kind of like hyperbolic. Like here's a same thing with I released on my I released my thoughts on this. It's saying that I think it was Cyber News, which is owned by, you don't know who even owns them. They essentially Google right now is absolute trash now compared to Google. Yeah, they're in the business to make money, man. Like I'm not defending them, but they're a huge conglomerate, and they're in the definition of they want to be profitable. I get it. It's whether you agree with it or not.
They're an ad company at the end of the day, which does suck major dick and balls. Cyber News released a really shitty video, saying a really shitty article that says your Pixel like is surveilling you, and you can't say no to Google's surveillance. So this is like something that I'm going to point out why that is it, why it is bullshit, and because all I did was just read right here from directly from the people that work on Google. There's a highly inaccurate article about Pixels from Cyber News that's making the rounds everywhere in the privacy communities. It goes through connection. Any non-Pixel device with standard Google Play integration, similar Google. By the way, you can get a Pixel 6 and have no Play integrations. By the way, you don't need to do the Google you don't need to install like a Google account. You don't need to install the Play Store or anything. It goes through the connections from the Google Play network-based location that's offered as an option during the Intel initial setup wizard. The option Google Play account-based device management, Google Play flags, and Google Play telemetry gets a lot of details wrong. iOS has a direct equivalence to everything is covered. Same thing. I mean, of course, no shit. They're going no home. Google is so big they're a monopoly and should be broken up into multiple smaller companies. That's one reason why I don't want to get a Google Pixel phone, because the newer Google Pixel phone has the AI chip, and the AI chip can be found at home. That's not true either. The AI, you can disable all the AI. So Graphene OS literally removes all the AI features. All of it is, a lot of it's on the software base. The AI chip, it's just a processor that can process AI. That's all it is, and it's just they were supposed to go to their own chip making system. They didn't. They went to a modified version of the Exodus. You downgrading your security is absolutely your choice, and people can make that decision if they want to. But saying because it's quote unquote AI, so I don't have a whiteboard. Is there an online whiteboard? Is this the thing? Let me finish this first. Some people say they take from this article, they'll have a device with comparable security and similar privacy invasive default connections from Apple. If they get an iPhone, that's issue. But what if they take the other side? They should use a non-Pixel Android device with Google Play. They'll have dramatically less secure device with the same privacy issues and additional ones from OEM services. There are Intel's process, since the dual-core processor has been the Intel management engine that has a backdoor. You wouldn't think an AI chip of the Google. No, the Intel. I mean, there's a lot I would have to touch on this. The Intel management isn't a backdoor. You can just put a lot of this stuff at the chip level. If you want to disable Intel management, that's your choice. But after reading how Intel management works, what's the purpose of it? It's not a backdoor. It's a lot of people that just don't understand the computer architecture, and it's a bunch of bullshit. I could read statements, I can read from people that are very educated on this subject, but it's not the purpose. It's not here to convince you whether it is or not. The point is, when you have a phone, here's a phone, and here's another phone. One is GOS, one has stock Android. I'm just going to put SA. Vendor, and then you have the ASOCP. They choose to release this on a certain basis, and then it's up to the vendor to pick when to update it. Graphene OS follows the ASOCP update policy. Vendors do not, because they want to make profit. They want to make money. They want to make dollar signs. Big dollar signs. So they don't fucking put that much time into security. The Intel processor management system, I'll answer in a question in a second. This is a really good article. This is actually how you learn. Which is crazy. The software is only as secure as the hardware. That's true. There's a lot of insecure hardware out there. And a lot of Android vendors make shit secure hardware. This is a true statement. This is actually crazy. Because I'll sit there and like, I have my own opinions, but there are people out there that are much smarter than me that read through this. Using native zero what the fuck? So where is it? Kick secure desktop environment. Like there's like Xorg 11 is dog shit. I use Cubes OS. Cubes OS is relatively the most reasonable secure operating system out there, and I do agree that your hardware is good as secure your hardware is just as secure as your hardware is. That's going to be as secure as where is it? It's actually quite crazy because I used to think Intel management system is not good. It's probably, you don't need it most likely, but if you disable it, but actually like it's kind of crazy. It's actually not. I was just reading this like a couple days ago. There we go. Using Loki. No. God, where is it? There's like someone that explains like Intel management system is not a backdoor, that it could essentially from what I read, that Intel management system isn't the backdoor that everyone wants to make it be, and if they wanted to do low level hardware, like if they wanted to do low level backdoors, they could do it in a way more convoluted, secretive way that you would never fucking even be able to find. They could do it at the chip level, but like this and like this fucking focus on Intel management system is kind of retarded, because I think that the biggest problem is people see something and they're like they see something and they're like, right here. The Intel management system is a mandatory subsystem of all processors. A lot of people that's working within the NSA and hackers say that it's a backdoor. Just because I can make a claim with something. First off, I'll address this real quick. If you think that you have a problem at the level that Edward Snowden does, throw your phone out. Nothing's going to protect you. You can say anything is a backdoor at that point, because potentially Snowden's security is at that level where everything could be literally a backdoor. I'm not saying that the NSA doesn't make mistakes. I mean, Superfish was a fucking nightmare. I know shit. There's stuff out there that the government agencies have done to the level that sounds unrealistic. Did you know that the MIT made I think they did an experiment in the middle where they could read the light bulb's frequencies that they flicker out, because when we make sound it bounces off stuff, and they could decipher a conversation from the way that the light bulbs are receiving energy towards them and it's changing the frequency, and they could decode a conversation. Is that going to happen to anyone? Fucking no. No one's at that level. No one's at that level. And if you're at that level, get off the internet. Don't use the internet like at that point. But right here, here's a good example of like the truth about ME. Intel management is a mandatory subsystem of all Intel processors after 2008 with extremely privileged access and the host system. The active management topology runs on it. I mean, there's air-gapped systems that have vulnerabilities where they can read your GPU. Like, there's crazy things that people can do, but the money, the time, and the level that they need to do this is so unrealistic that no one's gonna fucking do it. No, like unless you are a threat to nation state security, which that's literally what the three-letter agencies are for. They're there to protect the interest of their country. That's every country. That's something not to be shocked about. The fact that the Intel management system has such deep access to the host system and the fact that it's proprietary have both made the subject of a high degree of scrutiny. Many people, most of whom have little experience in this area, contract these two facts together, allege that ME is a backdoor, often confused by citing. And by the way, PriveSec Dev his name's Tommy Tran. PriveSec Dev is a very educated person. He has a public GitHub. And I think he brings a really good perspective in the privacy and security community. So the fact that ME has deep level rooted access and its proprietary software serves as an extreme example. It both shows the power and the limitations of the NS approach. Correct, ME is made as a simple executable. You can run just in an OS because of the fact that it's just below the OS and what sometimes is called the ring -3 10 analysis. You can go look into like how ring signatures like how rings work in computer science. It's actually kind of cool. Like monitoring network activity. It's ME is really for enterprise companies. They don't need, and again, they don't need to. They don't need to do this to backdoor a computer, by the way. You can turn it off, too. Blah, blah, blah. Nicola, the creator of ME, presents an analysis of ME, myth versus reality. Simply monitoring network activity is systematically test coding claims made by the documenting universe. Pretty much while claims such as ME is a black box that can do anything is misleading. ME is not without share of vulnerabilities. My favorite look at the issues presented by Mark. How to hack a turned off computer running an unsigned code in an Intel management system. ME being proprietary doesn't mean that we can't find out how insecure it is. Binary analysis, when paired with runtime expected understanding. While ME has a history of serious vulnerabilities, they're nowhere near what borderline conspiracy theorists claim. Intel is not alone here. Other chips typically have equivalents. AMD secure technology. Essentially, there's a lot of... It's hard to break down because it's such a dense... it's such a dense document that people make it is a backdoor when it's really not, when you look at the fact that a lot of if the NSA wants to find you, they can just go off metadata. They don't have to go off these backdoors. There's actually really good. There's really good like how laptops work, like how to get really secure laptops, how to improve the security of your Linux distro. If you can point to where Intel Management System actually is that they use the Intel Management System, if you can I mean, again, you don't need the Intel Management System in order to backdoor people. You literally don't. When you can just do a supply chain attack. You can put the backdoor at the chip level. You can turn off Intel Management System. You don't need it. It can be completely removed. You can neuter it actually, thus reducing the security of your computer, which could be even worse. There's enough information out there that can leak you to literally way worse. A lot of the time, like, people point to very specific cases of like people being absolute demons and the worst types of people, and they're like, this is going to happen to me. But you would need to prove that it is a backdoor. If you can neuter it, it's not a backdoor then. That means you can neuter Intel Management System. You can turn it off. There's nothing that stops you from doing it. If you neuter and remove Intel Management System, and they can still access your PC, if your computer, then they can just implant spyware at the CPU level in a supply chain attack. That's what I'm saying. Like, if you think that it's Intel Management System is a backdoor, even though it can be turned off and it can be neutered, then it's a very ineffective backdoor. It wouldn't make any sense for them to put any time into it. The fact that this is a well-known, I mean, then just use, and if you just use, like, just use AMD. AMD has the same thing. Power corrupts. That doesn't really answer the question, though. And the thing is, a lot of these systems are these Intel Management System and AMD's version of their system. It was made by enterprise computers, because if I have someone that's working at home and I need to get into their system to work on it, and this helps me do it, well, no shit, I'm gonna make it. It's not like, I think that people overanalyze and overthink that the Intel Management System is an absolute issue. I think people overthink about it, because if you can you can neuter it, you can get rid of it. It doesn't need. It's not permanent. It's not mutable or immutable. It's not permanent. And again, you can just literally just go at the CPU level. You can just put a backdoor at the BIOS level if you really want to. I mean, there's way more easier, less complicated, less removable options out there. That this is why this is essentially the IPv6 bugs in Windows is not a bug. It's a feature that was put in place by the NSA CIA. You can disable IPv6. IPv6 is not even an issue. I don't think. What are you talking about? And Microsoft patched this. Wormable hijacked my box via IPv6 security bug. This got patched in August. I just don't think people. I think people are. And like, I don't even use Windows, so. See, like, all these headlines are just like clickbaity. I'm not even a Windows fan, but you got to understand that, like, Windows security, like, Linux vulnerabilities, you can look up Linux vulnerabilities and look at these insane system affected that were there for years. Linux isn't any different. And I'm a Linux fan. I love Linux. I do hate proprietary software. I think most of it's garbage. There's routers that have awful security in them. No shit. Like no shit. I think the biggest issue is that people pick really unknown name, low level hanging fruit vendors that have poor security. A bug comes out, affects thousands and thousands of people because they get it, and then they're like, oh, this is a backdoor. This was on purpose. No, it's just shit. A lot of people code this and it's shit. I'm not saying that the government is above spying on its citizens. Well, duh. If your worry is, hey, the government is spying on me, ditch all your electronics and leave the country that they're spying you on. That's gonna be my answer for everything. That's like literally the word. And there are people that are saying that Russian is a form of way to control the Linux community because Linux is backdoor. Why would you think the government? Because Rust is open source, so like even because Rust is memory safe. C, you have to allocate your memory, and developers are lazy. They're going to make decisions based off of whatever they want, whatever they think that is the most efficient. They got to pump out the software, so it's got a vulnerability. It's going to leak. Rust solves this. Rust doesn't solve every vulnerability. Rust doesn't solve everything. That'd be retarded to ever think. The government is pushing for safer, secure code because they also run the same code that we do. It's not like they get special code. That'd be an autistic thing to care about. I think that a lot of people make decisions based off of their feelings and the hyperbolic statements they read online. There's Chrome does better. I mean, look at Mozilla. So you're saying that to rely on the software, don't trust in good coding, and return make worse coders. So rely on software where new software comes out to code, and then you rely on that. So if Rust isn't owned by the government, so that's irrelevant. The government, no one can own Rust besides the people that maintain it, I guess. But that's and I definitely think that people that write in C should learn how to write good code. Yeah, no, that's a good thing. We should and want and do are all different answers. Should we write better code that's more secure? Fuck yeah. But will we? Ought we? Can we? Probably not, because there's a high demand and there's a lot of developers out there, and it costs money. Rust solves a lot of issues that could be. Now, can you run Rust in unsafe code? In an unsafe format? Yeah, you can fight the borrow checker. You can fight it. It's not impossible. It exists. It exists. But the problem is that we should start writing code in a safer language that helps prevent memory leaks. Memory leaks is one of the biggest contributors to vulnerabilities. I'm in favor for that. I don't care who backs Rust and says Rust is better. I don't give a shit. It's open source. It's licensed to be free and open source. That's the point. And there's some problems with GPL licensing, and But again, if a backdoor is what you're worried about, then just fucking leave. Like, don't use any technology. Just like just turn off the internet and walk away. Which I'm not in favor. I think that's a lazy argument. I think that's not really a good, productive way to steer people. My general opinion is make better, safer software. Make better hardware security decisions on better, more secure hardware. And for people to think that, like, I don't click on links, but I'll... How to create a phishing site? Well, that doesn't mean anything. I can make a phishing site. That's not software. That's just, I can generate, me generating a, that didn't really, it's got a virus total. Is this a malicious site? No matches found. Like, we can go back and look at other parts of the internet where absolutely dog shit vulnerability, terrible software decisions, maybe government backed, whatever. But that doesn't mean that, I mean, first off, the government's not a person. It's a collective people. People make bad decisions. If you have an issue with something, go out and vote and lobby against it and vote. There are things you can do. You can take steps to securing your better privacy, having better secure software. I mean, I use a lot of Rust-based programs because Rust is more efficient. C is old. It's outdated. Zig, even Zig. Let's see. Zig is like, even looking at Microsoft Windows Defender, if the average person uses Windows Defender and it makes them more secure on the internet, why would I be against that? It'd be a good thing. People are not informed. They're not informed people. The Sumerian civilization. Scrape with make.com. How to scrape any website in make.com. Will this lead me to the promised land? Lady Gaga? Are you leading me to a Lady Gaga moment? The thing is, a lot of people get blackmailed or blackpilled. They get blackpilled into the internet and think that this is it. Oh, well, that's what it's leading to me, man. And I'm going to go back to you where you say that Intel management is a backdoor. Backdoor means with intent. I'm creating something with intent. A lot of things are made. All was wanting to show you is this YouTube channel videos, so I can show you this Rust video where he's talking about how. Oh, somebody thinks Rust is a backdoor? That's retarded. open source. How would it be a backdoor? Yeah, I don't see it. Well, yeah, I would have to. You would have to point me to the exact channel and time that says the Rust programming language, a political Trojan horse. Well, that's retarded. Anything you can say anything's political. That's I'll probably get DMC striked if oh no, a company is political. Big fucking whoop. That's retarded. When I first heard the government recommended Rust, I immediately thought that Rust had been infested by communists. This is like the dumbest shit I've ever read. This is like the dumbest shit I've ever come across of. I don't know if I can even if I can even seriously read this. If and the problem is this is like what a retard would go on the internet and think that they're being like they're this is what a this is literally what an autistic person would come out with, and thinks that they're big brain. What an absolute! I guess I'm reading the comments more than anything. If the Rust cultists are communists, then maybe I should go back to it. Rust is boring and not really more secure when it matters. For example, when you're using anything that interferes with a C FFI, which is... Take a look at Proof of Concept, original backdoor by Ken Thompson's. Oh, RTP, what's up, man? I don't think you can make something. You can't make something that I'm not saying you can make something that's open source a backdoor. You absolutely can. I'm not even gonna fucking say. Saying you don't want to see Rust in the Linux kernel is retarded. I understand that there is Take a look at the proof of concept original C compile backdoor by Kent. The problem is a lot of this stuff is hyperbolic when it's brought up. And then you actually go and touch grass for a second and read it, and you're like, oh, this is actually not like Intel management. People say Intel management is a backdoor. It's not. You can't call something a backdoor when you can easily remove it. A backdoor would imply that it is put there, and no one else is aware of it, and it can't be removed. That would be the laziest backdoor ever. I do think that backdoors do exist. Nothing is hyperbolic when it comes to the government. No, that is being hyperbolic. Hyperbolic. That is, it's being sensational. You can be sensational about anything. Government or not government, sensationalism exists. That's not an extreme take. It doesn't mean I trust the government or I think the government is doing absolute good. But the original C compiler backdoor by Ken Thompson. I will read that. And I'll watch. Let me. I want to watch this in with objective view, but I'm afraid that when I do watch shit like this, they'll think that I'm not giving any.
My friends, welcome to another Rolling Rambles, but this time it's a really, really rainy ramble, so it might be kind of noisy. I'll clean it up as much as I can in post. I'm sorry. Anyway, let's about today's subject, which is Rust being in the Linux kernel. The problem with Rust being in the Linux kernel is, well, I'm not going to get into technical discussions because the bottom line on that.
Saying normies are not aware of all the backdoors in software is just kind of a way. It's a way of saying like, oh, normies don't know this, so it means that it can exist. Other people use laptops. People in IT use laptops. People in software security use laptops. This isn't like a crazy concept.
It's just that the kernel is written in C. All of it's written in C.
Yeah.
People who develop it are C programmers. Everybody knows how to work on it in C. Shoehorning a somewhat incompatible language in there is a lot of work. It's unnecessary.
It is.
If you want to run.
From what I understand, that Rust and C do not mix. The Zig might be the fast tracking of Rust, like being in the system, is not even fast. Rust has been out for a relatively a long time compared to like some of the other newer languages that are coming out. And not really more secure when it matters. For example, when you're using anything that interfaces with the C, FFI, which is, well, everything you want to do something C plus you need it on safe. Yeah, there is some problems with middle-aged man gets angry about new Tomb Raider Netflix series and rants about something he knows nothing about his chest. That's funny. I would not suggest Rust backdoor at all. See no actual proof, though haven't looked into it. Some of the rumors stems from Rust compiler being also compiled by Rust itself. That would be funny. If Rust itself was its I'm sorry. That was funny to read. I was getting triggered. See, the thing is, you can have an opinion on the internet, and people can listen to you and think that you're right. But I gotta finish what this guy's saying. But that was some of the rumors stem from Rust compiler being. What else would you compile it? I mean, I'm not a programmer, so like, there's stuff that I'm like unaware of. But like, I do fuck around with Rust, and I've read the documents, and I slightly understand why people have a problem with C, and that could be esoteric in its own reason. But I want to hear what this.
Yourself from scratch. That's what Redux is. Go back to Redux. But that's the extent of the technical discussion that I'm willing to have on this subject. something nobody else is covering. Not even Brian London, who just as of this recording put out a video.
Oh man, that was so funny to read though. If that's like the reason though, people are like, Rust was written in its own. I don't follow social media or keep up with the Rust news, so I want to ask.
And a huge list of which are still missing for basic kernel development. And you can argue about the maturity of the language all you want, but the problem ultimately is not the language. The problem is Rust is not what you think it is. That's a lot of buzzwords, but it is the truth. And that's the people who push Rust are in fact wokies, leftists, woke soul, woke tard.
This is like the maddest boomer programmer on the planet that says Rust is pushed by wokies and leftists. What a retard statement. Who cares? It's programming. Imagine being like this and being mad because people are like, I like Rust, and then they shove their political opinion in there. Politics aside, who fucking cares? If we have better memory-safe languages, why would this be an issue on politics? It's such a... They're like... And then every time someone likes this, that's like this, that pushes this narrative, they're like, that's true. They just end their statement with, that's true.
Social justice warrior, feminist, ideological activist, lunatics. That's a lot of buzzwords.
Women don't program, by the way.
The truth. And that's ultimately the problem with it. Rust is the Marxism of programming languages.
This is the dumbest take I've ever heard. This is a person that gets his opinions on politics and ideology off on the internet, which is amazing. This is amazing. This is actually amazing. This is something I feel like I would find on 4chan. I tried learning Rust and stopped when they called Rust programmers Rustations. Great video. That's stupid. That's a stupid reason to stop. Middle-aged man, even better TDR of this video would be summing up things as cranky fat dude complaining about politics coming into the Linux space when he's the one bringing it in. No one ever said anything mean to you. Now yet you... Yeah, this is essentially what it is. This is just some fat dude, bald dude on the internet that's just mad. I randomly worked with a few Rust programmers in several jobs, and you're right. They're opinionated assholes, or you, as you put it, activist lunatics. Big fucking whoop. You work with assholes, and no matter where you go. Just thinking about this Senior Package Manager and broken dependencies, Hello World API, it takes 30 minutes of time and 6 gigs of space to compile. Hell yeah. Clicked on this expecting to laugh at a clown, got surprised with an entire circus instead. Great job. Hey, I'm not fat. My car is that small, though. Yeah, okay. C is the easiest language I've learned so far. While I can agree that Rust community is heavily influenced by wokies. Where are people getting this? I've never met a person that picks a programming language and they're just like mad. It's like it's actually insane to I just love reading these comments. You lost me at you learn C and it's not hard. Writing safe C in the kernel level needs does I mean I was a year or two into casual C programming when I patched the divide by zero bug in the kernel shown in the video. You are wrong. People arguing what's an easy versus what's a hard programming language is retarded. It's actually stupid. Because what is easy to somebody doesn't mean that it's easy to them. I want to read this. This guy's just boring. It's a mad boomer. That's all I see. I want to Good supply chain backdoor with we have plausible deniability where it appears that a bug or more access administration. So here's the thing, RTP. I think supply chain. This is the thing, and I agree that Intel management system has its vulnerabilities. Everything at a computer level can have a bug and a vulnerability. I'm not a fan of Intel management system because it has such great access, but this doesn't mean that we should disable it. But I do agree that if supply chain attacks are like the biggest issue, and the problem with this is, I mean, they say RISC v5 is like the answer to it.
That's why you don't ever see people in Rust writing their magical new stuff in Rust. Generally speaking, like I said, there are exceptions to the generalization, but for the most part, people who code in Rust are ideologues. They are activists, far left usually, lunatic.
Just mad boomers. But plausible deniability would be the greatest thing to do. You would want plausible deniability. Why would you want to put something in the system that people can disable? You can disable Intel management system and AMD's I think it's PSP, and the discoverability would be fucking retarded. It would be stupid to have a discoverable backdoor. When you discover the backdoor, everyone's like, all right, I'm going to remove this. Or I'm going to just not use this. I believe there's some like software problems with Linux itself. I want to look this up though. C compiler. And like when you read stuff, you're like, oh, apparently Ken Thompson is outlined method for computer compiler, binary, and other compiled software. Like, and sometimes I don't think this stuff was intentional. I think some people just made really bad decisions, and then someone found, like maybe somebody in the government found the issue. They found the vulnerability probably before someone else, and they're like, hey, let's I think what BLC, if you disable it and then tell management engine you actually caused a problem with the processor, you get worse performance by design. I don't think you get worse performance, but you definitely lessen the security. I think disabling Intel management does it lessens something in it. I was just reading this like a couple hours ago. It's not the trusted platform module is like something. God, Linux doesn't take advantage of this. TPM work on. Oh God, it's something really cool. I know Dash Arrow. There's Dash Arrow, and then there's something else that I was just reading that's being worked on right now. It's like a way to verify the signatures of the vendor. Essentially, you got to trust everything down to the vendor. You have to trust your vendor, but there's like ways you can like mitigate it, which is kind of interesting. Heads. It's not heads. It's something else. I know what you're talking about. It's not heads though. It's something that's because I don't. It's God, man. This is gonna suck. It's gonna hurt my brain. It's Dash Arrow by Nova Custom. I'm told heads is not good, but I could be wrong. I don't have a big brain. Apparently Dash Arrow is like the base system. but it's not heads. I gotta hear that. He said Rust is the Marxist version of, which doesn't make any sense because Marxism works on technically collectivism, and Rust, I think, is a for-profit like they want to make money, so it doesn't even make any sense, and Rust ideology wouldn't really align. What a boomer take. That guy. Sometimes, like, it's something this guy, he led me to another graphing OS. There we go. Now, from what I understand, that flat kill is kind of outdated, and flat packs are much better now than they have been, but it's not heads. Man, this one's gonna hurt. Can I do dark mode? Oh, let me just turn that off. All right. Sandboxing, flat pack. Yeah, flat pack, we know. Yeah, X11's lack of GPU isolation is pretty crazy to find out. That's why Cube's OS doesn't use GPU acceleration. That's why you can't game on it. There is a future out into the future. There is a way that they're going to work. They're working on it, which is kind of cool. Imagine a isolated I think, what is it? Wayland is supposed to solve this. Wayland is like better GPU isolation, but you can use not Flatpak, but you can use bubble wrap. Bubble wrap, I believe, and that could solve the GPU isolation issue. Which would be cool, like if I could game on Cube's OS in the future. I used what do you call it? Secure Blue for a couple months. It was pretty cool. It was an interesting experience. Heavily towards Rust and memory safe language. The Wokies got it. The Linux kernel. Arbitrary code guard and the code integrity. This is where I think it is. Code guard in control flow integrity. I think that's something that only Fedora is like essentially apparently the most secure the most secure distro, quote unquote distro, from what I understand. Choosing your laptop. Where's the laptop? Where did I read that? There was a laptop guide. Chromebooks are apparently like really secure. They're like pick really good security. You can kind of like. I think the thing is like people are like super like scared to do anything. They're like, oh, if it's touched by Google, I can't do it. I can't do it, man. If it's touched by Google, it's just gonna fucking hurt me. And I get it. I get it. It's oh man, it is not Cubes OS. Split GPG is fucking great, by the way. If you've never done split GPG, it is choosing your Android, installing Kali. Yeah, I actually installed. That's not a thing. Docker and OC hardening, Linux and securities, network. Arch-based kit secure environment. Oh man, this is gonna. Maybe this will be it. Google did remove "Don't Be Evil" in their handbook. Yeah, they removed it, but no shit. I mean, here we go. Damn. Android, Linux, encrypted DNS, Linux hardening guide. Oh yeah, here we go. This was it. I found it. Yeah, apparently IPv6 has some privacy issues. You know, not. Oh man, this one's gonna hurt finding because I was reading this earlier. Pretty much, they go through like Linux isn't a secure operating system, which you know, that could be true. There's problems with every operating system. That's not a crazy. The Linux phone, yeah. They talk about the hardware kill switches are nothing but marketing frills. That might be true actually. And where's the laptop one? VPNs, messengers, Linux, Firefox, Chromium. They talk about how Firefox's security hardening is pretty bad, which, you know, unlocking the bootloader, firewalls, custom ROMs. Most custom ROMs are pretty bad because they get abandoned. Security. No. I could have sworn there was hardware. Do not put any sensitive information if you can help it. If you must. Yeah. I think these are like very. Where is it? Ah, man. Maybe? Maybe? I can't find it. Linux setup. Arch setup. Yeah, there's like a way to secure Arch apparently, which is About? Guides? Desktop. The desktop screen was broken. It is not designed with security in mind. That's probably true. The application is made of that. I'm a cute. I think I found it. Am I crazy? Security utility on Mac. Oh, okay. Never mind. Nope. Control folder guard. Did I find it? Yeah. Do not use Linux. CubesOS is not Linux distribution. Yeah, CubesOS is not a Linux distribution, which is crazy. Email. If you can stay away from email, it's a fundamentally insecure protocol. You must use a Proton 2 know that. Consider staying away from web apps. They can provide weaker security. I don't know if that's true anymore. I think web apps are getting better. I'll have to reread that. Install no JavaScript to block content. Yeah. Fuck JavaScript, by the way. Terry Davis was right. Terry Davis was right. JavaScript sucks. No, wait. I think Richard Stallman. That was Richard Stallman. Richard Stallman was right. Richard Stallman was right. JavaScript is invasive. Man, this is gonna hurt. I can't. Browser, Messenger, email, general. BitLocker, Windows, File Vault on macOS, and DM Crypt on Linux. I didn't even know that was a thing. Huh. Yeah, there was something with Luke's that's not apparently secure. It can cross-site scripting, cross-site more. Gemini capsules disappearing was the real kicker. God, this. Is Cubes? If you really want to call it distribution, then it's more of a Zen distributor than a Linux one. But Cubes is much more than just a Zen. We all know the best operating system is Temple. Temple OS is the best operating system. Why not run everything at ring zero? Yeah, you should run everything at ring 0. God, man, this one really hurts me because maybe this. Nope. Post. Graphene OS, banking, USB errors, ASP, battery management, Graphene OS. This is not a ROM. Yeah, we know Graphene OS is not a custom ROM. Come on, bro. This guy looks. And Linux against his own advice. Yeah. Unix developer uses Firefox, Telegram, and Linux against his own advice like a hypocrite. Yeah, that's true. TimmyTrain.io, maybe? Blog? Damn it. Wandering computer? Huh? Divo asked my brothers. Apparently, that's the Linux installing Fidel or installing Pop OS, Universal. Ooh. I don't think when I find it, I'll be back. I'll come back to this. I'll come back to it. Need 15.
That I'm looking looking to inject
I'm going back to the guy.
everywhere. They are looking to take over existing projects in much the same way that video games and movies and comic books and every other form of entertainment have been attacked and subsequently dragged down into this diversity, equity, and inclusion wormhole. They're looking to take projects.
When people say this, I think that they fundamentally don't understand. Like, diversity just exists. It's not crazy. It's not a crazy concept. If you're good at your job and you just happen to be a different race, ethnicity, or gender, big fucking whoop-de-doo. It's the people that like this that talk and think about gender and woke policies more than people that are quote-unquote on the left or whatever. It's kind of crazy. It's crazy that people like this exist. Like, I don't know.
Up to and including major ones like the Linux kernel. And
Also, Linus Torvald can reject, I believe, from my memory, can reject anything that he, like, the pull request for, first off, the Linux kernel is fucking huge. It's massive. It's actually really big. It's like, I don't even know. It's like, why am I capping? I think the Linux kernel is huge. It's like the Linux kernel has grown significantly over the years. The latest version has about 36 million lines of code. Isn't that crazy? And I think Linus still has control over like what gets pushed and stuff. I think he has the final say, if I'm not mistaken.
drag them down. They are actually out to destroy these major projects so that they can rebuild them in their own image.
And rewriting stuff in Rust is like not even like I use Nmap. There's a rewritten version of Rust. I use Alacrity as my terminal, which is written in Rust. It is based. It's faster. It uses my GPU. I don't know why you need a faster terminal, but whatever.
They are agents of chaos. This is the problem with Rust. This is the problem nobody is willing to talk about publicly. Because when they do, these psychotic cancel culture fanatic lunatics descend upon.
Who's canceling who? This guy's complaining about Rust. And woke lefties. This is great. I actually love this, unironically. Cool.
On them and do everything they can to shut the person up. And I'm not willing to shut up. I've got FU, not FU money, but I've got FU positioning. You can't really do anything to harm my income, you Rust freaks. There's nothing you can actually.
No one's trying to harm this guy's income. At all. 0 people. No one's gonna fire this. No one's trying to ruin this guy's life. No one cares. No one cares that much. This is why it's fun. It's even more fun. This is why it's more funny.
To stop me from making money in the ways that I do. You can't.
Guys, they're trying to... Oh, I can't stop laughing because it's so funny. They're trying to take C away from me. They're trying to remove C. I like reading the comments because they're funny.
Say what you will, I will laugh at you. Point.
Finding it odd that Rust is getting fast-tracked and developed by the same type of people who are running the shit show at the Linux Foundation when you start seeing the... where's the...
Other projects, they want to also
them
take
colored
over
flag.
existing
Who
major
cares?
projects using Rust as the Trojan horse. Rust is the torpedo that enters your submarine's butthole and rips it open. So Rust is safer than C. It's better than.
Malware developers love Rust. What a fucking stupid take. Malware developers also love Windows. Does that mean that? Does that mean that the government's pushing Windows?
Rust is superior to C. Oh, what a coincidence.
I don't think it's superior to C. I think the people like to identify with their language that they learn. People think that JavaScript is great, and Java is great, and Go is great. I mean, look at Go. Go is literally made by fucking Google.
So what about Zig? Oh, no, wait. No. No Zig. No. Rust. Well, why?
Well, Zig is. Some people say that Zig is better because you have memory management, and each person. I mean, there's assembly writers. If you want to write real malware, write assembly. Write it in the source code.
Don't worry about Zig. But wasn't Zig written to be directly a serial? No. Don't worry about Zig. Zig is just some unproven, unstable, blah, blah, blah.
No one says this, by the way. I've never heard anyone talk shit about Zig.
Rust is what you need to move everything to because it's so much safer than C. It's like C, but safer. Well, okay, but Zig is
RTB,
No. Just because Zig is directly written to go after C and make it better doesn't mean that you should actually use C. You need to use Rust. You need to use Rust because if you don't use Rust, then we can't show our ideology down your throat. I mean, Rust is better than C. It does become sort of a mantra. It's like having a bunch of parrots that have learned these pre-trained phrases, screeching them all back at you.
This is just someone that's mad at the internet. I like to look at new comments because they're funnier. The worst thing about Rust are the people that use it. What's your reward for learning it? You go to work with a Rust dev? No thanks. Okay. Bro, what do you mean Rust is entering the Linux with no checks and balances? OG Linus himself gave it the okay. You're just afraid of what you don't understand. Seriously, the man is not good. He's not good for you. Yeah, people were just like, bro, discovers open source developers giving the time and software away for free and leaning left. Who would have guessed? It's been that way for decades. Linux as a whole, the internet is built on the shoulders of university students. And I mean, it's not crazy to think that like there's right wing fucking developers, there's left wing developers. Who cares? I thought it'd be interesting to hear until all I heard of BS. Since I started my career 35 years ago, I've been wars between programmers supporting a language or another. Here is the reality. It doesn't matter, period. I learned to program with Pascal, then professionally used a language called GFA. Never heard of that. Don't ask. The Visual Basic, and then ASP Classic, and then C#, and then JavaScript, which I still use to work with. I've been, in the last 6 months, trying a different languages because Node is becoming worse than C#. When I grew tired of the bloat, I've tried Rust. Nice, but not for me. It's too steep of a learning curve, and at 56, I can't afford to spend a year or two to become an expert at language. I've tried C++ and NFL. Okay, cool. This guy's like, I don't really care. There'll always be developers who work with C. Yeah, this is such a stupid. This guy has such a stupid take, personally. It's like, it speaks volumes that one of the wokest trans that won't. Sheena Lena? Who's this? I don't even know who this is. Are they a Rust lover? Oh, they're a Linux developer and a VTuber. It's not really crazy. I think that, among other things, proves essentially what you say. Other technical side, I would argue to prove that Rust provides nothing that can tempt C programmers can do. Only as far limitations, restrictions, manual practice. In other words, it's perfect for fascist stuff. That's just an autistic take. Even better to this video would be something like this is a cranky fat dude. I tried learning Rust and then stopped when they called Rust. That's just a weird thing. Middle-aged man gets angry about new Tomb Raider Netflix series, and then something about he forgot about it. I love Rust, but I want to see. That's just a weird thing. I randomly worked with a few Rust. I won't come on the politics side, but the language was not proven, unstable, unprepared, not ready for prime time. I think it'd be saying it's not ready for prime time when it's being used somewhere in a lot of places is just kind of weird. You put into words what my guts were telling me about the Rust stuff. No, Rust is iron. I can see there would be an insurrection for compiler into intersection of woke ideals, but I doubt there are two conflicted those, as you pointed out, the reward. Colonel, yeah, it just seems like this guy's just mad. So basically what you're saying is, for 17 minutes, is don't use Rust because it's racist. 20 years from now, the code is woke. The shoe is woke. That bird is woke. Yes, Mr. Buchanan. Let's go. Let's get you to. They're just gonna put me to bed so they can change the batteries in the damn birds. Okay, whatever. This guy's just retarded, honestly. All I know is that Rust is supposed to be safer than C because it's memory safe. Oh man, I know the fastest code than C because you can. Yeah. Rust is directly funded and recommended by the U.S. government, and this guy is calling Rust communist. I wonder what plan this. Yeah. It is kind of. This is having a low scale. We should just all learn assembly.
That's what it's like dealing with these Rust.
I just want to keep hearing this guy yell at the clouds.
None of it is about the merits of the Rust language. None of it is about the state of the Rust compiler.
Yes, it is.
None of it is about technical competency. Really, technical or any other nerdy sort of evaluation has nothing whatsoever to do with the whole Rust situation. Because it's not about that for the people that are trying to shove it down the throats of Linux kernel developers and pretty much anybody else on the internet. Anywhere they can
Linus Torvald can also reject all this. He can reject. He can reject. He can reject this at the core fundamental perspective. I gotta read RTP's opinion on this. I love when I refined what I was looking for. When I refined the thing that I read earlier, I'm gonna put it live. Oh man, this one's gonna be hard. Nope. Oopsies. I think on Monday I'm gonna do no, not Monday. Sometime this week. Okay. If 2001 was the year of ransomware, 2002 may be the year of the software supply chain attacks that probably I need to find that laptops thing. Ken Thompson is far from your standard black hat hacker. He's a renowned figure in the computer science who spent much of his career working at Bell Labs, where he designed the original Unix operating system, as illustrated. The moral is obvious. You can't trust code that you did not totally create yourself. I don't agree with that, because then you should never trust anything that you fucking run, and that would be kind of pointless. We wouldn't run software at all. Goal was to see if it was possible to hide a backdoor in the Unix login function. According to an article Wired, the theoretical attack inserted the backdoor code into the compiler so that every time a login application was compiled, the compiler would insert the same malicious backdoor code. Thompson didn't merely plant a piece of malicious code at the grant that granted him the ability to log into a system, wrote Andy Wired. He built a compiler, a tool for turning readable code, source code into secretly placed the backdoor in the function when it was compiled. Then he went a step further and corrupted the compiler that would compile. Thompson and a coworker, Dennis Roy, received the Turing Award, referred as the Nobel Prize of Computing for the development of the generic complex sequence theory. I think the moral is you can't trust code that you did not create yourself, especially code from companies that employ people like me. No amount of source level verification. The thing is, people back then didn't really understand computers, and we didn't have access to the internet at this level. This is like, I guess, my argument for against it. Almost be impossible to detect. Yeah, microcode is like, I'm learning slightly about microcode, and that's crazy. Like, microcode is like very low level. I picked on the C compiler because I could have picked any other programming and handling, such as assembler, a loader, and even hardware microcode. As level programming gets lower, these bugs will be harder and harder to detect as well. Installed microcode bug will be almost impossible to detect. He's right. Yeah, the lower level you go is the crazier it gets. It's actually kind of impressive that people will, in my opinion, people from the 80s that worked in computers had a lot more. Yeah, because I think they had to go out and learn it, but I don't think that it makes them more more quote unquote knowledgeable. I mean, technology is consistently evolving. It's hard to say that anyone is more knowledgeable than the rest. The fact that I would like to read more into this. Personally, but I think that, I mean, a person from 83 to now might be, they might not know actually how computers work. It's all relative to time. I mean, technology is like literally transforming at light speed at this point, so I don't think that people are essentially smarter. Yeah. Yes, yeah. I think information is easier to get now. Absolutely. This is crazy. Like, learning about this stuff is cool, but I think that people take this information in and they're like, oh, I'm gonna go into it. I'm gonna, like, this is my personality now. Just a perspective.
And keep in mind, like I said, we're not discussing the technicals here, but I'm not saying Rust, the language, purely as a language, is bad. I'm saying that it is a weapon of war. It is a Trojan horse that's wrapped in Rust, that's being used to go after major projects and destroy them for some Marxist communist revolution garbage. That's it. That is it. That is the problem. That is the only problem. No amount of discussion of the technical merits ultimately matters, because the underlying problem is the lunatic infection that will destroy your project, and it's trying to destroy Linux, but they ran up against too much gatekeeping, too many barriers. Oh, I'm sorry, we're not going to just let you shove your pet language into the biggest op.
Marxism isn't like, doesn't the Linux Foundation make money though, and the Rust Foundation, like, if they make money and they're not like, whatever, not pushing the politics aside, this guy's.
You can't just shovel it in there willy-nilly. We've got to make sure that things are going to be okay afterwards. Oh.
Reading this is completely different. This guy purposefully went out of his way to push the code into the he built a compiler tool for turning readable source and corrupted the compiler that was compiled at the compiler, so even the source code was stated. That's, I mean, he went he said he could disable malicious code. I don't know, man. I think this is one of those things like a really, I guess, like ethically good person made a decision to look at it and be like, hey, I'm gonna put this into this and end up proving a point that you have to kind of like run your code. But like, I mean, jokes aside, but I don't think you need to do that. Also, people were way less educated about programming back then on the level that we have now. I think people are probably more informed now than they have been in society. Besides this guy that's mad about whatever. It's just funny to see people get mad. I don't need that. I don't need that. I mean, to a degree, he is right. He's right. It's hard to trust code that you didn't write yourself. I mean, you are putting trust, but there are some people that are like probably actively looking at like really important code and making informed decisions like, hey, this is probably not good. But open source doesn't by default, just like proprietary software doesn't by default mean that it's more secure and that because there's more eyes on it that it's less invasive. I don't really think that's even true. There's Linux vulnerability problems that were sitting in the wild for years. Like years. And I don't know. It's gotten fixed. Probably faster than it would if it was like closed source, maybe. That's my take. But oh yeah, that was the original. This is the original. There was a highly big misleading inaccurate article that was kind of like floating around from and they kind of like explain it. I'll link it. But internet, thank you for watching. I'm out. I'm gonna go do stuff. This was longer than I thought it would be. See y'all later. I'll stream again soon. Maybe sometime this week. See ya.